Hi, welcome to the 50th day kindergarten. You're 50 days smarter. Did you know that? I bet you did. Well, today it is the 50th day of school, and in honor of the 50th day of school, we are having a 50's day. 50's day was a really long time ago. It's in the 1950s. And I have a story I want to share with you about the fabulous 50s. And then I've got a quick game for us to play. Okay? So here's my story. It's called Fabulous 50s. Okay? And do you know what these pink and turquoise circle things are on the front of my book? They're records. In the 50s, that's how people listened to music. They either had to play a record or they could listen on the radio. And that was the only two options. Okay? Their phones didn't play music or anything like that. Okay? So let's get started. Here we go. Pull that paper out. It says, in the 1950s, let me get this centered. There we go. Okay. In the 1950s, life was different than it is today. Let's compare and contrast the 50s, the 1950s, and 2020. Kids always like to wear cool clothes, right? But in the 50s, girls wore poodle skirts and the boys wore leather jackets and white t-shirts. Today, boys and girls wear jeans. Girls like bright colors and boys wear t-shirts with characters on them. So, we do not dress the same, do we? Nope. Kids have always liked to watch TV, right? But in the 50s, they watched small TVs that were only in black and white. And today we watch huge TVs in color. Another thing in the 50s, they had maybe 3 channels, tops. There was no other channels than those 3 channels. And those channels went off the air around midnight. And they didn't play anymore. If you got up to go turn on the TV, there was nothing playing on it. You had to wait until the next morning. Kids always like to build. But in the 1950s, kids built with Lincoln logs. So that was really kind of all they had as far as building type blocks. But today, kids build with Legos. Now, we can still get Lincoln logs and build with them. It's just an older toy. Kids always go to school. But in the 50s, teachers wrote on chalkboards and kids sat at their desk in rows. Like now we sit at tables and we can sit on the floor. We just, wherever we need to do our best learning is what we do. Today, teachers use an interactive board and the kids move around the room. But not in the 50s, that was a new way. You stayed in your seat. You were quiet. There was not a lot of talking with each other. It's just how they did it. Kids have always played outside. But in the 50s, kids played with pogo sticks and hula hoops. And today, kids play with trampolines and skateboards. I think sometimes doesn't Coach Frechette and Coach Hunter get the hula hoops out for y'all to use? Those really are fun. But that was a big thing to do in the 50s. Kids always listen to music. But in the 50s, kids listened to music on a record player. Today, kids listen to music on phones. Kids always like to enjoy snacks. But in the 50s, kids enjoyed root beer floats. Today, kids enjoy fruit snacks and Italian ices. That's kind of like those little slushy things they serve you on Friday in the cafeteria. There are many differences between the 1950s and today, but no matter what year it is, kids always know how to have fun. Happy 50th day of school. All right, got just a real fast little activity that we'll work on together. Let me get my paper in here. Okay, and we're going to do some sorting, and I'm going to get little pieces of tape that we can use for our little quick game, and we'll be ready to roll. Okay, trying to get my tape torn so it'll be quick and easy. Okay, I think that we'll do one more for good luck. Okay, all right, so here's our game board, and what we're going to do is we're going to put the pictures onto the correct part of this Venn diagram. So this section, like right here, that looks kind of like a part of a moon, is the 50s. This middle part is things that both go on in the 50s and today. And then this little section is just the things from today. Okay, so let's see how we do. Let me see. I'm going to hold this like this. Okay, let me get our first picture. Okay, it's this kind of a record player. Okay, so when the kids wanted to listen to the music in the 50s, did they use this record player? Or today, is this the way we get our music? Or is this the same thing for the 50s and today? You're right, it was for the 50s. So I'm going to stick that right over there. Okay? All right. Here's our next one. It says building with Legos. Was that just in the 50s? Did that happen in the 50s and today? Or is that more of a today thing? You are right. That is more of a today thing. Good job. Okay, skateboard. What do you think? Was that a toy from the 50s, a toy from today, or something that we used in the 50s and today? Yeah, skateboards are super popular right now. Okay. Now, playing outside. Is that something that only little kids in the 50s did, or only kids today, or is it something that kids always do? Do kids always play outside, or only in the 50s, or only in the 2020s? Yeah, everybody plays outside. So that goes here under both. So this is what our little board's looking like. Okay? All right. So, watching TV. Is that something we only did in the 50s, or we only do it in the 2020s, or we do it then and now? You are right. That is something from then and from now. Okay, we just have two more. Root beer floats. Was this a snack enjoyed in the 50s mostly? Is it enjoyed just as much today, or what would you say? Yeah, I would go. That was a big thing in the 50s, was getting to go and get some kind of a root beer float or a Coke float, something like that. Doesn't mean we don't have them today. It was just a big thing back then. Going to school. Is that only something they did in the 1950s, or only something we do in the 2020s? Yeah, we all go to school. That's just part of it, right? So let me put that on both. Well, look at you. You are an expert now, aren't you, on the 50s? I hope you enjoy your day. I hope you enjoyed this story, and we will see you soon. Bye, guys.